Happy, what's today? Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't know anymore. I can't keep track. It's been so busy. Welcome into another episode of the Brett Allan Show, a pop culture podcast where we interview your favorite celebrities, actors, directors from film and television, comedy, music, and more, wherever pop culture hangs out. And today I will tell you this: do not fast forward, whatever it is that you're doing. If you're jogging, if you're walking, you're on the treadmill. We have a very special guest today. We are chatting with director David Yarovesky, who just released a project. This was on Netflix a couple days ago, Nightbooks, which is a great family film. He's also directed many other projects, The Hive, Brightburn, just to name a few. David, welcome into the show. It's great to have you.
It is great to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, let's talk Nightbooks, which I tell you, I watched this with my son three times. We watched it. He's 7, so we can't just watch things one time. We have to watch them over and over again. And especially when it's kind of scary, spooky sort of thing. He likes to watch that. It also stars one of our former guests, Lydia Jewett, amongst other people. Let's talk about the project and how this all came about for you, David.
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for watching it 3 times. I was very much like that also as a kid. I would find something I was obsessed with and just watch it 100 times over and over and over again. But with regard to how I got involved, I got a script in my email box, like anything else, but this one said it's produced by Sam Raimi, and I couldn't say no to that. I was immediately in. But I was surprised that it was a family movie because of all the really kind of hardcore movies I had made before. I just never thought that that's what someone would send me. But I was immediately drawn to the characters. Alex, I saw myself in him, a lot of myself in him at least, and I thought I could really tell that story, and make it meaningful, and so I really wanted to do it.
Yeah, that's fun though. I think it's great as a director, at least from my perspective, when you are presented with projects that are sort of out of your the norm that you might produce. But I feel like in this film, you brought your special touch to it, even though you've directed dark things in the past. It's still kind of fun, a little ominous, a little spooky, and the premise is great. And I mean, how do you say no to Sam Raimi? I mean, that's my question. Do you say no to Sam?
No, especially when it's like, well, it's funny because like, I was a huge fan of his growing up. He was like an icon to me, and seeing his name in an email box was crazy to me. It was like a crazy moment. Whether or not I got the movie or not, it was just crazy to see his name on a script like that I could potentially do. And then I met with him over Zoom, kind of like this actually, and talked about the project, and that was crazy too. And when I hung up, I just had this really strong feeling that I had booked the movie, and I sat in this chair for like 10 minutes, just like, am I gonna do a movie with Sam Raimi? That's crazy. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I find it fascinating when directors like yourself who have done so many amazing projects, but then you get a chance to work with somebody like this. And I don't want to say fanning out or geeking out, maybe a little bit. I mean, because if you grew up watching his projects and then now you have the opportunity to work with him, was he or did he spend some time on set with you? Was he actively involved in the project while you guys were filming, or was it more just kind of the typical, meetings through Zoom or however you did it, when you were putting this project together?
Well, a couple things. Like, he was definitely involved in the project, but he was also in prep on his Doctor Strange movie. So he and when when I booked this movie in quarantine, so like in hard quarantine, not today
Not
quarantine,
going.
like
Yeah, I was gonna say like hard, not like pretend. Well, I don't want to say pretend and offend somebody and have somebody come after me, but you know what I mean.
yeah, it was just tighter. It was a tighter quarantine before.
Yes.
Things have certainly opened more than they were, and but at that time, that's when I was starting to, that's when I was booking this movie, getting on a plane, going, and we shot the entire movie before vaccines were out. So there was no one that could just fly to Canada, just easily.
Yeah.
And so, but he was really involved, and we were sort of in regular communication, and it was awesome. I mean, I think, especially when it comes to sort of what you're saying about fanning out, it's a weird mix because when you start to work enough in this town, the mystique of meeting people tends to start to go away because you very quickly meet, you know, celebrities or people that you admired growing up or whatever. But then but that person who you were as a child is still in you. They're still going, no way.
Yes.
But then the the filmmaker in you who's made a couple movies now sort of is like, yeah, the kid in me would be really excited, but I got to figure out if, it's like, okay, well, I got to make a movie with him now. And, and, it's like, I have to, it just becomes so much more about, okay, I'm going to go to work with this person.
No, I get it. I'm the same way doing this podcast 3 years ago. When I started, I was interviewing people. And yeah, like you interview so many people that you begin to realize, okay, I have to be equal to the situation. They're a human being, just like I am, although they have created one of the best shows on television, in my opinion. I interviewed Doug Allen on Sunday, the creator of Entourage, and that was like an iconic moment for me. But I get it. Like, you're like, okay, well, and I have to interview this person and have a conversation without geeking out a little bit and perhaps embarrassing myself, which I probably would do had I not had myself in check. So I
But
get it.
that's the other piece of this, though, is that all of us, well, I can't say all of us, but I think a lot of us who are here, the thing that connects a lot of people who work in this town is like a love for movies. And
Yeah.
so there's an inner geek within all of us, and we all have our people that we geek out for, you know what I mean? And so I think I don't know. I think it's kind of cool when I see someone get really excited to meet someone. You know what I mean? Like, it's in us all. It's why we're here. I mean, there's easier ways to make money than what we do.
Very true. No, I mean, I was very excited to talk with you just because I'm such a fan of this movie. And the fact that I can watch it with my 7-year-old is great because I have to be careful these days with what even comes on kids, quote unquote, Netflix or HBO Max, children's programming, because sometimes I'm sitting here working, producing, and I hear things in the background and I'm like, wait a second, what is that all about? And I don't know if that's done just for the adults and the adults get it. This is a great project. What has the response been so far? What has the feedback been like for you, David, with this amazing project?
It's been really crazy, it's been just an overwhelmingly positive experience releasing the movie. And it's interesting because, you know, you know, when I made Brightburn, when I made The Hive, it's like, the process of doing that not during COVID time was very much like people come over, I show them the movie, I show them pieces of the movie, or they stop by the post production, the spot like where we're editing. I show people, then we go to lunch, we talk about it. Like I have a constant feedback loop understanding of like what's working, what's not working, what I got to keep working on. With this movie, it was made so much in isolation that I really had no clue how people would react. I didn't know how the reviews would be. I had no idea. I really didn't. I mean, over the course of editorial, like, I probably had 4 friends over and I showed it to them at some point, and they liked it, but it's different when you show a couple friends,
Yeah,
they're
they're
not.
gonna love everything that you do. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, I try not to surround myself with just people who will be like, great job, but yeah, I mean, you just never know. You just never know. And you put the movie up on Netflix, and then 191 countries watch the movie in an instant. And, you know, people could be, coming to burn your house down, or they could be coming to carry you on their shoulders, and you just don't know.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing film. Congratulations on this and all the other projects that you have been a part of. You've just made some great work, and this is a fantastic film. This is now available on Netflix for everybody to stream. If you don't have a Netflix account, who are you? I mean, I think
Yeah.
everybody has one. It's like a third of the cost of 2 months worth of Starbucks. It's not much money. Be sure to check it out, because when you watch this film and you stream it over and over repetitively, it helps David out, it helps the film out, and allows him to be able to continue perhaps more projects. And the fact that you worked with Sam and he's working on Doctor Strange, who knows, maybe a Marvel film is in your future. Let's put it out into the universe.
Sure, let's put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's I mean, they're sort of the king of the mountain these days, aren't they?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's crazy.
Well, this is a fantastic film. One last question. When people watch this film, David, and have the opportunity to enjoy it immensely, what is your hope outside of, let's say, people being entertained? Because obviously that's what movies are for. But what is a message, or what is your hope that viewers and fans will take away from watching your project?
Well, I mean, I think, I mean, you saw the movie. You know that there's certainly a message in this movie about, you know, about not letting the world take away your magic. Like about being weird, being comfortable with your weirdness, and with staying weird, and not caving to the pressures of normalcy. So yeah, I mean, I hope that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to send a mess. I was a weird kid, and I was made fun of for all the things that Alex was made fun of, and I I had it pretty tough, but I can't even imagine how tough kids have it now. And so I don't know. I just wanted to send a message of hope from someone who went through it and came out the other end.
Absolutely. There you have it, folks. And thank you for listening today and pressing play. Be sure to head over to Apple Podcast and subscribe to the show if you haven't already. It really does help. Leave us a kind rating and review. Share it with a friend. It's absolutely free. You could probably even do it from the device that you're holding in your hand right now. David Yarovesky, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.